What's up, college football fans and Mean Green fans? Sonoy Valente here once again with the Mean Green Show. Today, joined by JD, we're going to jump into the latest recruiting news for North Texas. But before we get into all that, guys, you already know the drill. If you're a fan of college football or G5 football, consider hitting the like and subscribe button because that is truly all that we talk about. Okay, JD, well, hey, I appreciate you jumping on and just kind of jumping right into the latest news of the last couple of days with the North Texas 24 class. And unfortunately, starts off with two commitments flipping. One in Ronell Snacks. What's his last name? Ronell
McLean
McLean with the the nickname of Snacks, flipping to the University of Houston, and then the other one, another interior offensive lineman, Davion Hurth, flipped to North Texas rival UTSA. Obviously for us North Texas fans, that's kind of a big one. You hate to see that, really pretty competitive even in the recruiting realm with UTSA, just as far as I just feel like it stings a bit more when somebody flips to go there. But UTSA has a lot to sell. I mean, back-to-back CUSA championships with a real shot at winning the American in their first year in it. So, I mean, they've really built quite the program there, Coach Traylor and company. And I know North Texas had that, really exciting recruiting win in Taylor Starling late at the 23 cycle. But, I mean, UTSA is still UTSA right now, reigning champs. So, I mean, it's going to be tough to recruit with them. And there's probably plenty more recruiting battles that I anticipate North Texas and UTSA going head-to-head on. But anyway, JD, what are your thoughts on the two offensive linemen that we lost in this last couple of days?
So McLean, I kind of seen coming, especially when he started picking up some Power 5 interest, and then eventually picking up the Houston offer. I mean, it's hard to beat a Big 12 school, especially Houston. They're new to the Big 12, but I mean they are a Power 5 now. So when those Power 5 offers come, you always in the back of your mind, you can see them committing. And he was a guy that I think may have committed kind of early. I'm not sure he was 100%, from the get-go. But then, like I said, once the Houston offer came along, that was the writing was on the wall. Hurth was a little bit more of a surprise to me. And like you said, it stings a little more when it's your rival. It's another group of 5 that stings, but add in the rival, the conference mate, all that stuff. I feel like it just adds to it. But yeah, I mean, UTSA's got 2 conference championships trophies down there that they, every recruit that goes on campus gets to take pictures with. So, I mean, right now that's what they're hanging their hats on. Now, I've said it on Go Mean Green. I've said it on Twitter. Coach Morris and this recruiting staff is the best recruiting I've seen at North Texas in my decade of covering. The excitement they've got rolling. And we got to remember, I mean, this is the end of June. 1st of July, we've already got 10 commits. Right as we came on the podcast, Eric Morris sends out another puzzle piece. And that's 11 commits. You're almost halfway done with your class by July. You look at a team like Texas State, who has been recruiting like crazy down there. They have 1 commit for the 24 class. So we've got to give these guys credit. I mean, there's going to be some decommitments in the NIL era. There's going to be people coming in with big money, but I mean, I'm super excited, super pumped with the way the staff has started to build this class so far.
Yeah, and moving over to the recent commits that we got in 3 wide receivers that we'll get into here shortly. But, Coach Jordan Davis, the receivers coach for North Texas, must be really happy. And they're, him and the rest of the staff, Coach Owen and company, just doing a great job keeping the train moving. And, I've watched their film, and it's pretty good. I'll say, they're the 2 guys that we got, the guy from North Shore, Barnes. What's his name? Let me pull it up really quick. Christopher Barnes. He looks like real. He just looks like the real deal. As well as Miles Coleman, 5'5", little Deuce Vaughn action. Again, looks really electric. I don't have their stats up. I think Vaughn maybe had over like 1,600 receiving yards. And I want to say Barnes had over 1,100. I checked earlier. I can't remember. But anyway, both of them can put up some crazy numbers and, just really explosive. And just can't help but think they're going to fit really well into this offense, assuming we can hold on to that verbal commitment. But really excited about those two, as well as I think it's Jacques Spradley-Demps. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name correctly there, but
Jacques.
Okay, so Jacques Demps. His highlight tape, I'm going to link all their highlight tapes in the description below, but man, he doesn't even look like he's running. Like, he just looks like he's kind of strutting around. There's one play about 3 minutes in where it seems like he really kind of drops into second gear and takes off a bit, but he's a bit of a bigger guy, 6'1", I think, and maybe around that the 195 mark, and that's him in his junior year of high school. But three really good grabs at receiver, and Demps, obviously, this is coming off of a Baylor offer that he got, I think, in the last 10 days or something. So, I mean, it's not like these Power 5 offers that he has from Baylor and TCU are just cold offers. They're, at least Baylor is actively in his recruitment. So the fact that he did commit to North Texas over that's pretty outstanding and something that I feel like that is worth getting excited over. But anyway, JD, what are your thoughts on the three receivers that recently committed?
Yeah, I mean, shout out Jordan Davis. I don't know if I've ever seen a one position coach have a better 3 days recruiting. I mean, you're talking about 3 days. He landed arguably three of the best wide receivers in the state of Texas. I mean, Christopher Barnes, keeping that North Shore pipeline we got going. Javen Anderson last year. I went blank on the other North Shore commit, but that's three North Shore talented guys with, a very impressive offer list that Morrison Company's landed within the last 5 months. So that's impressive. And then the Jacques Spradley-Demps, that was one of the ones that just kind of wasn't really on my radar. I try to keep up with the guys that were getting close to committing, and then all of a sudden I see, he puts us in his top 3 with Baylor and TCU, and you're like, okay, well, is it going to be Fort Worth or Waco? And then, so landed the staff being able to pull him away from 2 Big 12 teams is super impressive. And then, to land the hat trick in Miles Coleman. Miles is actually, I seen a post the other day, he's the leading receiver in the state of Texas returning next year. So that's impressive, as many wide receivers in the state of Texas. He's a smaller frame guy, but I mean, he's got a little Darden-esque type of play about him. So, I mean, it's exciting. I think this might wrap up the wide receiver room as far as recruits. I mean, you've got 3 tight ends and 3 wide receivers. I mean, that's 6 people they've dedicated to, or 6 scholarships they've dedicated to offensive skill position guys. So, I mean, that kind of raises the next question: who's the quarterback recruit in the class going to be thrown to these guys?
Yes. Maybe we can jump into that really quick here in a second. Miles Coleman, I'm not sure. I'm running kind of on limited sleep right now, but Miles Coleman, I think I may have called him something different earlier in the video, possibly. Maybe not, though. But anyway, just wanted to clarify that now if I did, mess that name up. But yes, as far as the quarterback goes, so obviously, Arrington's at Memphis, and we got Lugo, at UTSA, and what's the other guy that went to Rice? Drew, yeah, another one. So 3 guys, out of Texas going to 2 of them going to Texas schools in conference. The other one going to Memphis, obviously out of state conference. So kind of makes you wonder who are the the Mean Green going to target quarterback wise for this class, because they're definitely loading up at receiver. But any info there, JD, that you can share?
So the guy that I've liked, I liked way before we offered him, Cash McCollum, state championship quarterback out of China Springs. He's a guy that, has had the film. He's got the size, 6'4", 213. I mean, the guy's got a cannon for an arm. We pulled the trigger on him a couple weeks ago, and I think, to me, I like our chances. He's got 10 other offers, but as of right now, I think that you got to maybe be able to pull the quarterback out of China Springs and landing him. I mean, like I said, he led his team to state championship last year and won it. He's got the skills. His brother Cooper McCollum actually plays for Texas A&M. Might be something to watch, but yeah, that would be my leader in the clubhouse. I think I think the staff really liked the quarterback that went to Memphis. I think he was kind of And then I think we liked the Plano East quarterback, Drew DeVillier. I mean, I think he would be at North Texas if North Texas had a baseball program. I think that's the only thing that landed him at Rice was baseball, and that's sad because I know there's a lot of fans on Go Mean Green, a lot of fans on Mean Green Sports that have been yelling for a baseball program, but this is one of the few times in my decade of doing this that I've seen us actually lose a player due to baseball. But
do you think the coaches, as well as with McCollum, that they will pursue any of these QBs that are already committed? Do you think they're just going to break communication with Arrington Maiden, or do you feel like they're going to try to, maybe try to flip one of these guys?
I mean, I can't speak for the staff, but I mean, I think you look at they've only offered 10 quarterbacks. I think Coach Brophy, Coach Morris. To me, it seems like quarterback has been one of the positions that they're going to be super particular with who they offer. I mean, I think they're not going to cast that quarterback net near as far as they do some other positions. So I think that the 10 guys they've got offered, I mean, Haas is going to TCU, Deuce Adams is going to Louisville, Marcos Davila, Purdue. I think those are all guys that even if you land a quarterback this class, you don't break off 100% communications just with this age of the transfer portal. I mean, they offered 10 kids. There's a chance, if everything goes how college football goes, 5 of those could be in the transfer portal within 18 months. So I definitely think that keep conversation, keep a relationship, don't burn any bridges. And I say that to even the fans as well. I seen we had the two decommitments last week. We had 3 commitments, but it seemed like the talk was more spent on decommits on Twitter and Go Mean Green. And you're like, don't burn bridges, because we're still a long ways from December. A lot of things can happen. I wouldn't take to Twitter or even message boards, griping and yelling at 17-year-olds, because between now and December 15th or whatever signing day, a lot of things can happen.
Absolutely. Well, all right, JD, anything else we need to touch on before we jump off here?
We are three days away from being official American Athletic Conference members.
Awesome. It's going to be great to be an American. But all right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. And as always, Go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green.